It's time to jump into the luxury imports of Bowling Green, BMW, Mercedes, Sports Webb, with your host, Brian Webb. Also starring Vegas Frank and Against the Odds, brought to you by JBK Network Consulting. Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill presents WKU Lady Tops golf coach and PGA teaching professional Adam Gary in Gary on the Green. It's The Good Fit with Jeremy Harris and Sports Webb baseball analyst Danny Hartong from First Step Orthotics. WKU Sports Analysis with Garrett Browning, plus the Culver's High School Player of the Week. And all phone interviews and guests appear via the Linux of Bowling Green hotline.
Hello, everybody. Brian Webb here. Sports Webb and Roxanne, all at the same time. Casey in the studio. What's up, Warner? How are you, man?
Man, it's just another great day to be alive. Another great day. Glad to be out of the house for once.
Oh, man. You said it right there, brother. You hit the old proverbial nail on the head right there. Good-looking sock shirt. When'd you get that?
Tell you what, I went up to Sox Fest with my dad about a couple months ago, and they had a clearance section with all the giveaway stuff from the stadium. And I had this for $5, man, just in my size. Last one left. So yeah,
oh, it was meant to be, dude. Of course, it was meant to be. Just
exactly.
Just like a few years ago when I met up with First Step Prosthetics and Orthotics.
Oh, yeah.
I met the limb himself, Danny Hartong, who we've got on the Linex hotline, Linex Bedliners, Roger Gina. Get over there and check them out. We've also got Vegas Frank coming up right after the break when we get done chowing with the limb, and then we'll probably hook up with Adam Gary. If not, I've got some great announcements. They've rescheduled the Masters and some of the other majors there for later on this year. That's cool stuff, seeing some of those things. I think just seeing the actual dates.
Definitely.
It's almost like a jolt of happiness, right?
It's positivity. It's something to look forward to. Right now, in the next month or two, I have nothing to look forward to in the sports world. Literally nothing, because there's nothing set in stone right now. So,
well, we got him on the Linex hotline. Let's get with him. Danny, the limb. What's up, man?
What's going on, gentlemen?
We're having fun. Last week, Danny, we set up. I wanted to hear your starting lineup of all time, and then we're going to get Casey's. There'll be a little bit of a generation gap, maybe, but let's start with you, dude. I want to hear your lineup. Like you put them out there, put them on the diamond.
And I don't think Brian mentioned to listeners out there. MLB. This is MLB all-time lineup, Major League Baseball, and should we just call it maybe the all-generational team?
I like it.
Because different generation, we got Danny, got you, got me, so we got three different generations of baseball.
That's pretty sweet, though.
I kind of put in honorable mentions, too, So,
of course.
But now at first base, I got Lou Gehrig. An honorable mention, Albert Pujols. So we got someone from the young and the old. And then at second base, I got Joe Morgan from the Cincinnati Reds, and as honorable mention is Robbie Alomar. And third base, Mike Schmidt, Philadelphia, and the honorable mention there is Chipper Jones.
Chip, I was considering him.
At shortstop, I got A-Rod, and as honorable mention, I got Ozzie Smith.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like that.
So my outfield, it's very, very speculative when anybody wants to do, but you had to put in Babe Ruth out there.
Oh, of course.
There you go.
I didn't get to see him play any.
Right.
and Barry Bonds and Mike Trout.
Yeah.
And then my second team, I got Ricky Henderson, Junior Griffey, Roberto Clemente, and Pete Rose.
Okay.
I like it, man. Tell me, you pick one or two of those players out that you've actually got to see play many times, and bring up maybe an awesome memory of them out there, like a certain game, maybe a series maybe they played in, anything like that?
Yeah, I saw Bonds at Candlestick Park back in the late 90s, and this guy, I've never seen a better live baseball player, and I mean, this guy could do everything, and PEDs. No one's ever, he's never been convicted, the old adage, have you ever been convicted of a felony? No, never convicted, but,
Yeah.
But, Bonds was one of the best ball players I've ever seen. Ricky Henderson, of course, the leading bag thiever of all times. Man, the guy was just amazingly fast, and I never saw Pete Rose in person, but I saw many baseball games on television. Pete Rose, and of course Junior Griffey. I got to see up in Seattle one time play. another outstanding ball player. But and these are just a few. There were so many. There are so many.
Yeah,
I could have went with.
You can't get one that's in stone because it could change the next time you do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then my pitching, I went with a left-hander and a right-hander. If I had to give the ball to a left-hander, I'd give it to the big unit, Randy Johnson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can't hardly go wrong. I got to see Randy pitch, which is pretty sweet, and I got to see Bonds that year. He was on the on track to break the record. I saw him. It was actually we went down to Arizona and watched him in the Diamondback Stadium when that was a pretty new stadium. That was cool. It's got the hot tub and pool over there.
Oh yeah.
The backup lefty I got for Sandy Koufax.
Oh yeah,
sure.
Got to have Sandy in there
for the Dodgers. And then my right-handers, always give the ball to Bob Gibson from the St. Louis Cardinals. This guy was a madman when it comes to pitching. I mean, you're talking about guys who used to almost put up 300 innings a year, and start 33 to 34 games a year, which is incredible. And then my backup righty would be Greg Maddux, the seeker of the corner, man. The guy was incredible for very, very many years. And my closer, there's only one, Mariano Rivera.
Yeah, that's right.
That's good
there
stuff.
You go. There
Absolutely.
You go. Now, Danny, I got to ask you about your lineup. So have you seen all of these guys play on TV or in person? Even Babe Ruth?
Both, except for Babe Ruth.
I was going to say, except for Babe Ruth. What about Lou Gehrig? Have you seen him on TV?
No, and Lou Gehrig.
Okay, Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. I was going to say,
that's pretty cool, though.
Because I was going to say, if you had seen Lou Gehrig.
Those are part of the 1927 Yankees.
Right,
so
right.
No, I wouldn't have been able to do that. But the rest of them, and then I got Johnny Bench as my catcher.
There you go.
I do too. That's who I've got too, Danny. I love it.
But the rest of them I have seen either on TV or on or live.
Right.
But like you said, it's really hard.
It's extremely hard.
You could go and look at 6 more outfielders and take them instead over the years and years. But I'm glad I have Mike Trout in there, who's still actually playing baseball, and he's going to break many, many records by the time he's done as well. If we get to start to play baseball pretty soon, I think we will. I mean, I think it's going to end up being a 100-game season.
I hope you're right, man.
I need it.
There was speculation of starting, spring training again, and then make the leagues the Cactus League and the Grapefruit League, and start playing before no crowd. And go from there and see what's going to happen.
That's a good idea,
man.
And
it wouldn't, I mean, at least it raised TV revenues, and these teams would be able to at least get in baseball shape. I mean, because it's going to take another month, at least before they even return probably to spring training.
Yeah,
and then another month
4
to get
weeks.
ready. So you're looking at July, maybe August.
I'm thinking they maybe could condense the getting ready part once they're back to a couple of weeks instead of another, a whole month. I believe they can. I think they've probably been working out at home. These guys have probably been every minute of the day trying to stay just right where they left off when this thing broke. Well, let's hear.
But you're talking about pitchers. You got to ramp up for pitching.
You're
man.
right. You're right.
It's so hard, for them to throw bullpens and then throw 2 innings and then ramp up to 3, then ramp up to 4. That takes weeks, man.
That's
otherwise
true.
You're going to get a lot of injuries, but they are going to be able to expand your roster. So
that's
going to be a big help.
That's all I say. Take the over when the baseball starts.
Right.
Hey, let's hear big Casey Warner. Let's hear your starting lineup, baby.
All right. So first of all, I gotta let the listeners know this is kind of more a 2000s to 2010 to 2020 lineup here per se. In my lifetime, I've witnessed, the 2000s, the 2010s, and I'll say about this is these are not particularly guys I think that might have been the best at their position, but rather my favorites that I've seen play on TV or in person. And I'll go ahead and let the listeners know that I have 4 White Sox on here, actually. Couldn't help myself. Had to put 4 White Sox on here. But I'll start off with catcher, none other than Pudge Rodriguez, Ivan Rodriguez. He's my favorite catcher in my life, so I have to say Hall of Fame member, 99 MVP, 14-time All-Star, 13-time Gold Glove. I mean, how does it get any better than that? First base, I got Paul Konerko, very underrated first baseman in my lifetime. Of course, my first baseman of the White Sox. So personally, my favorite, 6-time All-Star, 05 World Series, Game 2 Grand Slam to give the White Sox a go-ahead lead.
Booyah!
279 lifetime hitter. And then here, for all the Reds fans out there, my favorite second baseman of all time, Brandon Phillips in my lifetime, man.
He's a good one.
Can't go wrong with Brandon Phillips. 3-time All-Star, 4-time Gold Glove, 200 home runs, 200 stolen bases.
Wow.
The guy could do it all. He could field, he could hit, he could run. Shortstop, I mean, for guys my age, is there any question? Derek Jeter, man.
He's a good one.
Derek Jeter's probably got to be my favorite shortstop. Was never a huge fan of him, but how can you deny the Hall of Famer? I mean,
I don't like the Yankees.
310 lifetime hitter, man. How many guys can say they hit over 300 in their lifetime? That's impressive in itself.
And I think he was on Seinfeld once.
Right,
Exactly. That stands for something.
Exactly, that definitely stands for something. Third base, I'm going to go with another underrated player, in my opinion, highly underrated, Adrian Beltre. That's my favorite third baseman. Beltre,
I like Beltre.
yeah, 4-time All-Star, 5-time Gold Glove, 477 home runs, and a 286 lifetime hitter. Hard to argue with that. Left field, another underrated cat, Alfonso Soriano. He's got to be my favorite left fielder. 7-time All-Star, 4-time Silver Slugger, 400 home runs, 200 stolen bases, and a 286 lifetime average. Center field, Andrew McCutchen, 2013 MVP, 5-time All-Star, 1-time Gold Glove, and 4-time Silver Slugger. He got my attention, I will say, because on, I believe it was MLB The Show 14 or 15, he was the cover guy. So I liked that about
cool.
McCutchen. And then coming down the final list here. Yeah, definitely. Right field, Jermaine Dye, another great underrated outfielder in my opinion. Game-winning hit in Game 4 of the 2005 World Series for the White Sox. 2-time All-Star, 1-time Gold Glove, World Series MVP, and on my White Sox from 05 to 09. He was definitely clutching that World Series run. And then rounding out the list, we got DH and pitcher. My DH, who's it going to be, Danny? Who do you think my DH is?
Probably Jim Thome.
No,
Actually,
that
close.
would have been a good one.
He was a debate for first base. I chose Konerko over Thome, but my DH is Frank Thomas, man.
Boom, the big
Hurt.
Yeah,
Okay, all
didn't
right.
get to see much of his career. Got to see the tail end of it when he was with the A's for a couple years, then the Jays, and then the White Sox the last couple years. But, hey, Hall of Famer, 93, 94 MVP, 5-time All-Star, 521 home runs, 301 lifetime hitter. Arguably one of the greatest DHs of all time, Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt. And then finally, I chose one pitcher and one pitcher only, and that pitcher is Mr. Mark Burley. Always working fast, always getting those quick outs, finishing the game in under 2 minutes. You love to see that. Or not 2 minutes, 2 hours, rather.
What you meant.
Yeah. 5-time All-Star, 4-time Gold Glove, 05 World Series winner, and a career 3.81 ERA. That's my list.
Yeah, I made a lot of money off him.
Hitters.
That's right.
Wow,
2 no-hitters.
That's a good
Yes,
point,
sir.
Danny. Good
One
point.
of them a perfect game.
All right, real quick, I'm going to give you mine, and then I want you to close, Danny, and give us some hope again and say what you did a little bit about earlier. Touch on that again, what you alluded to about how we might get this baseball started again. But I'm going to go down mine really quick. Pitch, I went with Maddox and Fernando Valenzuela, 2 of my favorites of all time. First base, Mark McGwire. You know, I liked him a lot. No matter even the controversy, I still liked him. In outfield, I've got quite a few guys here. Sammy Sosa, I loved watching him.
I lost you guys.
Tony Gwynn. You lost us?
You still there, Danny? You hear us?
Yeah, I got you now.
Okay, cool.
All right, sorry, buddy. Billy Hamilton, I threw him in there just because I loved watching him. I got to see him live so many times. It was so great. But Gwynn, Sosa, Billy Hamilton, and then I've got for another outfielder, I threw Ron Gant. Do you remember big Ron Gant, Cincinnati Red? Ryan Sandberg's my second baseman, Danny. I loved him.
pick.
Love Ryan Sandberg. Catcher, Johnny Bitch, just like yourself. And third baseman, I got Mike Schmidt. Dude, I always loved the Philly Mike Schmidt, baby. He was so good.
Perennial, baby.
He was
Perennial
something
all-star.
else, man. And another catcher I threw in there, Warren Central boy, Chris Turner, has a World Series ring with the Yankees. Jorge Posada, he used to switch back and forth with Jorge. Pretty good stuff. Ozzie Smith's my all-time favorite shortstop, along with Nomar Garcia
Parra.
No, ma.
Nomar, don't you park your car? All right, man. Give us a little hope before we sign off here. Give us a couple minutes of what you think might happen here in the future, and we'll update it every week.
It's now April 6th. If they could ramp this up and get this over in about 6 more weeks and get started by June 1st, we'll have baseball by July 1. And I really think that could happen. I really do think that still could happen. If you get it in by July 1, you could do double headers and still play a few double headers.
Yeah, great idea.
100 or 120 games this year. I think it's going to happen. That we just got to be patient, and everyone still needs to stay safe and stay home as much as you can.
Yes.
And like I said, give everybody their space, man, and give a lot of peace and love out there.
And pray for that PPE for all people that do like what you do, Danny, and in that field in the medical industry. We couldn't, none of us could be here hardly without you all. So it's a big deal. And we love you. We love First Step Prosthetics and Orthotics. You and Jeremy over there doing great things, man.
Thank you, my brother.
You're more than welcome, and we'll hook up with him again next week. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to get Vegas Frank on the Line X hotline, and we'll see what's going on in Vegas. Not much from what I can see. Don't go anywhere. Stick around for the Sports Web. Casey Warner, Brian Webb here, right now, ESPN 1027. Tired of overbooked municipal courses? Waiting for the group in front of you while the group behind you launches ballistics? Well, Willow Oaks Golf Club in Glasgow, Kentucky is ready to entertain you and your family all year long. This is an affordable private club with all the amenities. 18 majestic golf holes with pristine greens and fairways, large swimming pool with separate children's pool, tennis courts, driving range, fitness center. Then unwind in the private oak bar or enjoy amazing food choices perfect for weddings or corporate events. This will be your home away from home. Visit WillowOaksGolf.com, or better yet, set up a tour and discover the best kept secret in South Central Kentucky.
JBK Network Consulting and Cisco Systems have long been partners in Hilltopper Country. We have served South Central Kentucky since 1992 and now serve customers throughout the Commonwealth and in 19 states. With the power of Cisco Systems, JBK Network Consulting offers a complete lineup of voice-over IP, wireless indoor and outdoor, and digital signage for both information and entertainment sales and services. Looking to expand or just want to start on rock-solid ground? Conveniently located in Bowling Green, JBK Network Consulting, where we are IP everything.
So what's the deal with Big Green Egg Grills? Mike Keith here, letting you know if you're looking to grill, smoke, or bake on the highest quality grill out there, you need to see Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill. They have the Big Green Egg, #1 for over 25 years and with good reason. With a lifetime warranty and best-in-class ceramics, this thing is awesome. There are no chemicals in Big Green Egg Lump Charcoal. And Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill has the best price in town, just off the bridge on Old Louisville Road. BowlingGreenFireplace.com.
Wash your hands, stay home, cover your cough. It's our new reality with COVID-19, and that means calling ahead instead of going directly to a doctor or hospital if you're sick. It means being more patient. We're all in this together, and we all have a role in preventing the spread. So, prepare, focus on the essentials, protect, keep some space from people outside your home, and disinfect a lot. Get the facts at kycovid19.ky.gov. Prepare, protect, disinfect.
How's everything taste tonight, folks?
It's really good. Where did the pork come from?
As a chef, it's important to know where your food comes from. That's why we buy local and Kentucky-raised food.
We're the Ragland family from LaRue County, Kentucky. We have farmed on Shady Rest Farm since 1925. We believe in what we produce, we feed it to our own family, and we're happy to share it with your family. Whether it's at your local market or your favorite restaurant, we provide the best quality pork for our consumers. Kentucky Farm Families, feeding Kentucky, feeding the world.
Sponsored by the Kentucky Pork Producers and the Kentucky Agricultural Development Fund.
Hello, Vegas. Give me $100 on red.
Stop! $200 in chips, please.
Are you a professional?
That's your bet, sir. Bet.
Hit me. It's a bust.
Whoa! I am on fire.
Oh, he's good. He's good.
You're a winner!
Against the Odds with Vegas Frank is brought to you by JBK Network Consulting. JBK Network Consulting. We are IP everything. Working with complex organizations to achieve measurable business outcomes is what we do. Let Jim Grant and JBK Network Consulting go to work for you. Call 270-796-8935. Visit JBK Network Consulting at 1143 Fairway Place, Suite 105, and online at jbk.net.
Welcome back. We got him on the Line X hotline all the way from sunny Las Vegas, Nevada. Vegas Frank against the odds. What's up, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing okay, big guy. The streets have rolled. Of course, I don't know, Casey, you've never been to Vegas, have you?
Never.
All right.
I haven't.
You definitely wouldn't want to see it right now because it's dark.
Good.
Nothing's lit up. They're not even lighting the strip up, are they, Frank?
No, they've got limited amount of lights. Some of the hotel rooms and stuff are displaying messages,
Oh, really? What are they saying?
Strong. they spell out with like different lights. I think like the Wynn and Bellagio, they've done some things with the lights that say like spell out messages like Vegas strong, stay safe, stay home, stuff like that. I mean, there's really not a lot going on. So they've got limited. They're using a limited amount of lights right now on the Strip. It's very eerie to drive up and down the Strip at this point. It's strange.
I hate it, and I had how connected I was with the local transportation guys, from your limo drivers to your taxi guys. Some loved me, some hated my guts, but it's one of those things where I feel for those guys, man, too. I mean, and even the Uber guys, man, they're not much to do. I mean, I don't know if this thing doesn't lighten up. Vegas is going to be really tough to get it back going again. Are you hearing what's the word on the street? I mean, do they feel like if they could get it going quickly if they lifted kind of this set in place kind of thing we got going on?
Well, the good news about the casinos is if they open the casinos again, they don't have to unlock any doors because, as you know, a casino opens, there's no lock because everything's 24 hours.
That's true.
So the doors are open. They're ready. Whenever they decide to do this and whenever we start to get back to a normal way of Las Vegas life, I mean, all they'd have to do is make sure they've got coins and dollar bills, I guess, or the paper in the dispensers and the machines, and then they can start to get back to normal. Because as of right now, I mean, everything is shut down. I mean, you probably heard about it when the governor first gave the order a few weeks back. He gave everybody like 6 hours. They cleaned out every slot machine.
Wow.
in like a 12-hour period. I think they cleaned out every slot machine of every dollar.
Wow.
That's crazy, isn't it?
That is crazy. And a while ago you said normal Las Vegas life. That's kind of a misnomer, isn't it? I mean, there is no...
Yeah, I mean, normal, our normal.
Yeah, you're normal.
Not everybody else is normal.
You're normal. Hey, we're going to... And I'm sure Casey's going to want to fire some questions at you. But I really would love to... Danny and Casey and myself gave our favorite MLB of all-time lineup. I would like to hear your starting five of all-time lineup for NBA.
For the NBA all-time. Oh,
all-time, baby. All-time.
On the spot.
Well, I mean, I've got to go with Jordan, I guess, of course.
Oh, no question.
And then Magic. As far as a center, I guess just because of never seeing anything like it before, I would probably say Hakeem because he was a center, but he played like a small forward.
Elijah one. Yes.
Yeah. And then as a shooting guard, I guess I have to go back to the Lakers. I'd go with Kobe. I'd start two guards. I'd start Kobe and Jordan. And then as a forward, I don't know, maybe Barkley or Malone. I mean, I wouldn't be able to pick between the two. I'd say, I guess Malone.
Those are great, and a couple of them are right along with what I was thinking in my head. But I think about guys that you don't maybe bring up as much, like Jason Kidd. I mean, I loved him. Yeah. I mean, he was awesome. So good.
John Stockton.
Nash and Stockton, and those guys up at Utah, they had some good years they put together with Malone, and they were hard to handle, man. You know it?
Oh, my God.
Hornacek. Remember Hornacek?
Yeah, that's right. Him, too. They were great.
That's a good one, man. Well, Casey, you got anything for the Frank?
Yeah, Frank, so this is a question for a lot of the people that are more my generation NBA fans, and I'll be the first to tell you I'm not a huge LeBron guy. He wouldn't be in my all-time five, but why is he not in your all-time five?
Probably the exact reason. I mean, the exact same reason. Why wouldn't he be in yours?
To me, I don't think he shows the grit and some of the killer instinct that a lot of the, per se, GOATs of all time do. Like, I love how people want to compare him to Jordan. I don't think for the slightest bit LeBron has the same kind of instinct Jordan ever had. Just there's no way to compare, man. What do you think?
I'd agree with you. I think that he's the comparison to the Jordan thing is because he grew up idolizing Jordan,
right,
and he wears 23 because of Jordan. But I would compare him more to Magic than I would.
Sure, because he's positionless. Yeah,
he's like a hybrid of a Magic Johnson, Scottie Pippen, I guess, and then like combine like the Hulk or something. I don't know. He's like as far as like physically, he's on another planet.
Right.
So he's off the charts. But I mean, I guess I wouldn't include him in my top five all time just because I've never really seen him in that light. I guess because of the clutch gene. I guess we kind of toss that around.
Yeah.
I don't see him as a guy that finishes games the way he that other guys have done it historically.
Agreed.
I guess. Does that make sense?
Agreed. Yeah, totally. And another thing that I maybe wanted to hit on with you is we mentioned this a couple weeks ago when I was talking to you when I hosted. But
that was a great interview. By the way.
Of course. Appreciate that, Brian. But yeah, I just wanted to get your thoughts again on maybe in the last couple weeks. How do you think things have changed for the NBA, and how do you think they might handle the rest of the season from here on out?
Great question.
I think because this has gone on as long as it has, I think the regular season is over with. I don't think that's something that they're going to revisit. I think that in some capacity they're going to try to salvage playoffs because the playoff revenue is where the owners make their money.
Right.
You know, they're renting arenas, they're renting spaces for their teams to play, and based on what revenue is earned during the season, that kind of pays vendors and pays all the other tie-ins that they have to paying players' salaries during the course of the year. The way that the owners make money is playoff revenue from TV and extra ticket sales and all those other things. So I think that's going to be their long-term goal, if they can even salvage that. And if it's going to be something that we don't even know if we're going to see an NBA game, playoff or otherwise, for another couple of months. It's
so crazy.
It's a very strange time.
What are my buddies doing out there? What are the brothers doing, Gabe and those guys? And have you seen any of the Morton's crew? How are they doing?
I talked to a few of them, seen a few of them as of last week. Actually went to the chef's house. We did a barbecue and whatnot.
Oh, nice! I bet that. What did he serve? I got to hear. What did he make? Because those guys.
We did some steak and he did some pasta and stuff like that. You know,
gosh.
We all kept our distance. We didn't.
Of course.
There was no hugging and everything. But, you know, we all kept our distance, but we had a good time. It was nice to see everybody. But basically, since then, it was kind of like we'll see you on the other side kind of thing because no one's really been in contact with anybody.
True.
As far as seeing anybody face to face in probably over a week.
Oh man! Hey, listen, our last few minutes, let's do something fun. It just sparked into my brain some of the things. While you said that, I was thinking, how could you have it? First of all, Andy says you can't be doing that. Obviously, Governor Beshear,
Nope.
He's keeping us safe. But on top of it, though, you know, if you're around people, there are some little sports that you can do if the places are open or in your basement with a friend over or something. Ping pong, that's a 6 foot. Help me brainstorm. What are some other ones, man? Badminton, I guess you could do one-on-one, right? Can you think of one?
You can play beer pong.
Yes. Thank you.
Casey, can you think of one that we're missing?
Actually, I got one. I don't know how sanitary it would be because of the bags, but cornhole. I mean,
hey, you're
touching
like
the
25
bags,
feet away.
Yeah,
there.
but I mean, still touching the bags.
Wear gloves,
I don't know.
man.
Right.
Wear your gloves.
Sure.
I mean, get some latex gloves and wear your gloves, and you can play some cornhole. That's a good one. I had another one. Battleship. You could set like in the other side of the room, man, and play some Battleship. I'd rather do that because nobody can peek and see where my ships are. I love that game. And, I was thinking of some board games, but I don't know. There's some things we can find. What have you been doing to pass the time, Frank? Because the sports books ain't open, baby.
Just reading every day, going for a walk every day, just trying to, do something where I'm not sitting and watching the same TV shows that I've watched for the 100th time. Just trying to, stay active a little bit and just, go and putter around the house. I mean, I've cleaned my car. My car is the cleanest I think it's been since I bought it.
I did the same thing, man.
7 years ago. I don't think my car's ever been this clean. So, this is very strange times we're in again. I mean, obviously everyone is trying to stay safe, but, you're trying to stay occupied as well. But I think I've been trying to read a little bit more just to do something that's not staring at the TV.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Anything that you want to maybe recommend? A good book you've recently finished?
Well, I've read a little bit of those Stephen Covey, those different leadership books, the 7 Highly Effective Habits of a Leader.
Great book.
A lot of those are really good.
I've done that whole course. Yes.
Yeah, I was reading the book of basketball Bill Simmons wrote a couple years back.
Yes.
So
get some more of those titles, and maybe next week throw us a few more titles, folks. The listening can maybe go out and grab a couple of those if they haven't read them. Frank, always a pleasure, man. I hope things turn the tide and work themselves out so we can have some kind of a summer. But hey, better safe than sorry on this thing, and A lot of cases out there, a lot of confirmed cases. So I think we've curved. I think we've curved it a little bit, maybe beat down the apex a little bit. Maybe we're there right now, but they're saying that this is going to be the hardest week yet. So let's hope that they're wrong on that. And keep yourself safe out there, man. And it's always fun. Can't wait till them sports books get back open. I was going to ask you last thing, Leroy's. They're kind of a private off strip. Are they trying to take some bets? Is there any place in the whole city? Or Clark County that you can make a bet?
The problem is that the smaller books, when they go digital, they don't have it really set up to where they can take those random sports. They can take bets on those random sports.
Like highlight or something.
They're trying to, but a lot of them don't have it set up, and they've got limited amount of personnel, I think, to set those things up. So it's really tricky right now because there's really no sports. You saw really quickly, with the golf, the Open Championship got canceled.
Yep.
Okay. It didn't get postponed. Notice that. The other ones got postponed, and it's the only reason why the Open Championship got canceled instead of postponed is because they have insurance, because they're overseas.
Good point. Oh, man, there he is. Always dragging something good in. Man, well, listen, like I said, stay safe. We love Vegas Frank, and we appreciate JBK Network Consulting, Jim Grant over there. I mean, he travels all the time. He's not been able to travel for work or any of that. So it's just affecting everyone that you know, including yourself. And the quicker we get through this thing, the better.
Yeah, I agree. Casey, I was going to mention real quick with UFC, just engaged.
Yeah.
And Tony Ferguson, April 18th. It's done. We just don't know where it is yet.
All right. Well, there's something to look forward to for our listeners to watch.
Yes.
Actually, there we go. It's a sporting event.
One last question. We'll let you go, Frank. I mean, and I think I know the answer, but I want to hear it. With the absence of just life in general, I want life in general to get back to normal. But after that happens, and everybody's through this thing, and hopefully hasn't lost any family members, how much are you going to just absolutely never take for granted, like the Knicks playing somebody, or the worst team in the league? I would watch anything right now. I'm never going to take sports for granted again.
If they filmed it, I would watch the WNBA's practice. I would watch anything at this point. And if it was new and live, I would watch it at this point.
I think
we're going to watch the NFL draft is going to be on a computer. Everybody's going to be. It's like drafting a fantasy football draft. Yep. I just hope the Texans put it on auto draft.
Yeah. With that, we're going to say so long to Vegas Frank against the odds every week on the Sports Web, buddy. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Good talking to you guys. Stay safe.
Same here. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk a little bit about golf with Adam Gary, WKU Lady Hilltopper coach, and we'll see what he's up to when we come back on the Sports Web, ESPN 102.7.
Hi, this is Danny Hartung with First Step Prosthetics. Jeremy Harris and I would like to thank the people of Bowling Green and the surrounding areas for their support of the last 10 years. We are proud to announce that we have been celebrating over a decade of service to this community. We are going strong with the utmost care for our orthotic and prosthetic patients. We strive to provide the new and latest technology for the care of our patients and whatever their specific needs should be. Take the next step with us. Next to Batteries Plus on the bypass, or visit us at firststepprosthetics.com.
When Poston Electronics opened in Bowling Green back in 1974, it sounded more like this.
Turn it up, man!
Now Poston is as legendary as the artists Southern Kentuckians pumped through the speakers they've bought there for the last 45 years. Poston is everything audio with top brands like JP Audio and Alpine. From home theaters, boats, motorcycles, side-by-sides, custom work, installation, service, or sales, Poston still has the sound. Turn it up, man. Poston Electronics, across from Firestone on Broadway Avenue.
Not all spray-in is created equal. For example, spray-in honey.
Why are all these bees following me?
Or maybe spray-in tanning.
Hey, you missed a spot there on your face. Oh, that's bad.
See Line-X of Bowling Green for spray-in bed liners and Line-X truck gear. It's the next level of complete tough gear for your truck. B&W gooseneck hitches, toolboxes, step bars, and WeatherTech doormats. Gift cards now available. Easy, affordable, and rugged. Line-X. Check out more at linexofbowlinggreen.com.
You're playing golf and you're going to like it.
Time to go home there, Ball.
I can make it across.
Well, then do it.
We got all of that.
Why didn't you just go home? That's your home. Are you too good for your home? Answer me.
Knock it on. Let her rip.
It's in the hole. By the way, what did Mr. Webb shoot this morning?
It's time for Gary on the Green. Gary on the Green is brought to you by Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill on Old Louisville Road and online at bowlinggreenfireplace.com. Call 270-495-1131.
Yeah, thanks for coming on back. Anyone on the Line X hotline? Coach Adam. Gary, what's up, Coach?
Not much. Just staying healthy at home right now still.
Yes. And, you got a big family and some wonderful youngins there. I know you want to keep them safe. You guys you making fun and making good memories, though. That's good.
That's right. At least we're not doing homeschooling this week. We're on spring break, so we can actually just kind of go outside and play. And
that's awesome.
Mess around the yard. So it's been fun getting to spend some extra time with the boys because I'm normally traveling so much this time of year. But at least we have some good weather. I think I'd be going crazy if the weather wasn't nice.
Oh, same here, man. I got out yesterday morning, went up about 7 o'clock, Willow Oaks, and had a round. I don't know if it was what you would call it much. I did have my lob wedge out, my 62, because I left my 58 at home, my sand wedge, and man, I hit it so good, chipped up there, chipped in, and they got some foam in there where you can't pull. Obviously, once you leave the flag in and stuff, we practice social distancing, and I noticed everybody on the course was doing that, and that's important. But man, I tell you what, it was a breath of fresh air to get to play, and the course is in good shape up there. We got news today: PGA August 6th through the 9th, U.S. Open September the 17th through the 20th, and Masters November 12th through the 15th. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm excited that they're at least starting to set some dates, so maybe that means things will get back to normal pretty soon. I mean, I'm bummed that they canceled the Open Championship, but if we could have 3 majors this year with all of this going on, plus a Ryder Cup, I think that would be phenomenal.
Yeah, same here, man. A lot of people are probably trying to get out in the yard and do some chipping and that sort of thing. What are some good things in your backyard you can work on without having to leave your house?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed some of these Instagram trick shots, like the AJGA is showing a lot of kids sending in their favorite drills and things. A funny one that I've seen a girl on our team doing was they set a ladder up and put like Kleenex boxes or golf ball boxes on each step and tried to chip a ball and knock the box off. So you're kind of working on your trajectory control a little bit.
Yes.
Obviously, the bouncing the club on the club face and doing tricks with that or chip into a bucket's always great if you don't have a net or something like that you can hit into at home.
True.
But I think everybody's just getting creative and trying to do whatever they can. But like you said, it's good to be able to be outside and we're very fortunate that the golf courses are still open, like we said last week. I mean, we got 2 girls on our team from England. They've shut every course in the country down, and then Illinois and Michigan are shut down. So I got 2 girls and not able to do anything at all. So we can at least go and walk or ride in the cart by yourself or do a little something right now, which is awesome.
It is awesome, and it's good for the soul, man. Casey?
Yeah, hey, Adam, I was just wondering, what's your thoughts on the Open Championship being canceled? Were you a big fan of that? Were you really looking forward to that, or kind of just tell us what you think about that?
I do look forward to that. That's one of my favorite tournaments. There's just something about waking up in the morning and turning golf on immediately and watching it while you're having breakfast and laying around.
Yes,
it's I really do enjoy watching it just because it's a different style of golf and obviously it's players from all over the world. But to lose a major championship, I think is sad. But I'm just happy that we're going to have 3 of them and that they're going to try to do what they can to host whatever they're able to put the pieces together to have some kind of a season. So it's just all up in the air. I just think it's a good sign that maybe, who knows? I'm seeing it on the news that it's going to hit its peak here in a couple of weeks or something to where maybe we'll get on the backside of this and get back to normal.
Man, I'll tell you what, I'm sure hoping so. Just for the fact of seeing stuff on TV, watching sporting events, anything to watch on TV. Is there anything in particular you've been watching, maybe like any reruns, any old sporting events or anything like that?
Bobby Jones.
I probably will watch some Masters reruns this week, but to be honest, I haven't really watched many reruns of old sporting events or games. I'm a tinkerer. I've been working on clubs in the garage and messing with the boys and they pretty much monopolize the TVs in our household. So it's either a Marvel movie or some kind of show that they want to watch pretty much going on in our home right now.
Man, you hit the nail on the head, though. Right now would be a good time for people to do some stuff on their clubs and that sort of thing, get some new shafts if you thought about it, or it'd be a good time to do that.
Yeah, I've ordered a couple shafts on eBay. I bought a 5-wood I'm messing around with. I might, use a 5-wood this season, and just kind of trial and error, honestly. It's just something that I enjoy doing. So I think any kind of hobby right now that can kind of keep you occupied, if you can incorporated into golf, I think that's an awesome thing.
Totally agree, man. Keep the girls, keep them up and keep them engaged, and you'll get them back hopefully this fall, and you'll be able to get back on track. But it was at Sandwich, England, wasn't it? Rail St. George. So they'll have that there next year with tea and crumpets, right?
Right. Yeah. I hope that they're able to make it up. I mean, the financial implications of all these sporting events being closed
is huge.
Pretty crazy. Yeah,
it's huge.
It just blows your mind. But
it does.
I mean, to think that it's inconvenience to everyone in the world.
Yeah,
literally.
I mean, we're all in it. I mean, it's affected
I feel
everybody.
Very fortunate that we
too.
haven't been affected a whole lot.
I do too.
I haven't personally. So
no, I do too, and we can thank Andy for that and give him a big kudos for how he's been doing and handling it.
That's right.
And, hey, we're Kentuckians. We're smart, baby, and
Yes,
we're
sir.
resilient. So hey, we appreciate it. We'll do this again next week until life gets back to normal. But I love having you in the afternoon live, and hey, get that swing playing on them kids ready. That's another thing you're probably doing, I bet.
That's right. I've been losing some money. It'll motivate. They don't want to go to the golf course unless I say, "Hey, I'll bet you some dollars over here." They're all about that right now. So I'm getting them out and doing a little practicing. So
Little Goat Gary coming out of them.
That's right. If I can get some short game fun instilled in there, we're fortunate to live close to Indian Hills and get over there.
True,
so
true.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Well, tell everybody we said hey, and man, we'll hook up with you next week, Adam. Thank you, Coach.
Perfect. Thanks for having me.
Same as always. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We're going to get a hold of Mr. Brandon Dowdy, have him back on again this week, chat, and maybe we'll get some of his all-time football lineups.
Yeah.
So all-time quarterback, maybe all-time tight end or something. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with WKU's greatest quarterback of all time, Brandon Dowdy, on the Sports Web 102.7.
This is Mike Keith, voice of the Tennessee Titans, and you're listening to the Sports Web on ESPN Radio 102.7.
Culver's Restaurant on Scottsville Road has you and your family's safety in mind. But even though the dining room is closed for now, Culver's of Bowling Green wants you to know the drive-thru is open for all regular business hours. So you can still get your favorites like butterfly jumbo shrimp, flaky North Atlantic cod, and chicken tenders. Remember, our chicken is raised humanely and without antibiotics. It's simply the best. What about fresh salads and our cook-to-order classics like roast beef? Yummy! Oh, and everyone's favorite Butterburger, frozen custard, malts, and shakes. Culver's, welcome to delicious 4903 Scottsville Road.
So what's the deal with Big Green Egg Grills? Mike Keith here, letting you know if you're looking to grill, smoke, or bake on the highest quality grill out there, you need to see Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill. They have the Big Green Egg, #1 for over 25 years and with good reason. With a lifetime warranty and best-in-class ceramics, this thing is awesome. There are no chemicals in Big Green Egg Lump Charcoal. And Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill has the best price in town, just off the bridge on Old Louisville Road. BowlingGreenFireplace.com.
This is Kentucky Agriculture Commissioner Ryan Quarles. The coronavirus outbreak is unlike anything that we have seen or experienced in our lifetime. That's why this station and Feeding Kentucky are uniting against hunger. You can help your local food bank by donating today at feedingky.org. Your generous gift will ensure that families across the Commonwealth have enough food to eat during this crisis. Together, we can make a difference. Consider donating at feedingky.org.
Football teams always get the call right, and you need to make the right call before you excavate. If you don't and you damage a natural gas line, the Kentucky Public Service Commission will investigate, and you could be fined up to $1,250. So make the right call. Put safety first. Call 811 before you dig. Touchdown! Oh my goodness! This message brought to you by the Kentucky Public Service Commission.
Welcome back. ESPN 1027 Sports Web. What are we up in the 290s now in the episodes, Brian? Man, we've had this thing going for a long time.
292 many.
292 many, as Brian likes to say. I tell you what, though, we're happy to keep this thing going, and we're happy to be on here every week, still talking about sports, having a good time, just enjoying our time, being able to get out in studio rather than staying up in the house. But I'll tell you what, one thing that I'm certainly going to miss out on here since we've been in quarantine and Conference USA action got canceled was WKU baseball, man. WKU baseball, hot start, 10-4, I believe.
Yeah, they were on fire.
I was here at the studio board operating all the games, and heck of a pitching staff, a couple guys really swinging a hot bat, and I tell you what, I was looking forward to a great season, maybe one of the best WKU baseball seasons we've seen of all time. Unfortunately, we're not going to get to see that happen. Maybe they'll get to do the College World Series somehow. I don't know how they'd be able to do it. Not that many games were played, but
no, I think they actually just said no College World Series.
Yeah.
Well, I think the venue maybe had said it, and that's just speculation. I remember something about that. Somebody had said to me earlier that I think a lot of this stuff is touch and go. Just like Dowdy, touch and go. We couldn't get him. He's got the little one there, and last week, same thing. He's like, man, if something happens and I can't answer, I'm in the middle of something with a kid. He's got that. He'll probably holler about us here in a minute if he gets a chance to get on. We'll call him. But man, you're right there. You're on campus. You're WKU rivals, which is awesome. And let's highlight you a little bit here, Casey. Sure. Let's talk about your background as far as broadcasting. And, what got you into wanting to be a broadcaster, man?
Man, I'll tell you what. When I was growing up, one of the first pictures I've seen of myself as a young kid was I was in the front yard at my dad's old house, and I was wearing a 1998 Kentucky Wildcats national championship basketball T-shirt.
No way.
Those of you that have heard me on here know I love my Cats, love UK, love WKU as well too, but UK's always been my number one. Chicago White Sox, Los Angeles Rams. My dad bred me into that, put me in front of the TV whether I wanted to or not, witnessed all the games, got to witness the Rams Super Bowl back in 99. Don't remember it. Witnessed the White Sox World Series in 05.
How old were you in 99?
2 years old, man.
Are you serious?
I wasn't even 2 yet because it was early 99, so I was just 1. So I don't remember the Rams Super Bowl victory. I remember, some of the gear and, seeing videos of it.
I remember it well. The greatest show on turf, man. It was unbelievable. Marshall Faulk, he's unbelievable.
Yeah, all the
Kurt
Titans.
Warner, do you love Warner?
Oh, yeah, Warner. That's my favorite quarterback of all time
awesome.
right there. But I was about to mention, for all the Titans fans out there, sorry we had to bring that up.
No.
We know the tackle.
Who was it? Kevin Dyson?
Kevin Dyson at the 1.
Oh, he's on the 1. Listen,
Dyson reaches for the 1.
I was watching that game at my valet podium at Morton's Steakhouse on a little black and white 13-inch, and I just happened to run back up and see the last play. I couldn't believe it.
Dude, what a Super Bowl. But White Sox, Rams. Here recently, like Brian mentioned, I've gotten into WKU athletics more, which has been pretty fun.
Yeah, because you played a little ball. Your first swing at college was playing some baseball and a little football, didn't you?
That's it, yeah. Coming out of high school, funny thing is I didn't even play football until my sophomore year of high school. I think I played football before that when I was 10 years old, picked it back up sophomore year of high school. I always thought I was too small, but I said, to heck with that, man. I'm just going to go out there and hit somebody,
Yeah.
So I went out there and hit somebody, played football in high school for a few years, ended up getting recruited by some smaller, Division III NAI schools. Had a few to choose from. They gave me pretty good offers to come. I ended up choosing Thomas More, small university up in northern Kentucky.
It's a good school.
Yeah, great school. Played up there for a couple of seasons, went through summer camp and went through spring ball. And turns out, it wasn't the place for me, wasn't the school for me. I enjoyed playing college football. Let me tell everybody that's listening, tell you, Brian, college sports no joke, man. It's a job. It doesn't matter what level you're at. It doesn't matter if it's Division I, 2, 3, NAI. It doesn't matter. It's a job. When you get to college, that sport's a job. There's a part of me that does miss college football. There's a part of me that doesn't. But it was a great experience nonetheless. There for 2 years, ended up transferring to WKU because they got one of the best journalism and broadcasting schools in the nation. Very happy, very blessed to be here at WKU. Very blessed to be in Bowling Green, and very blessed to have somebody like Brian Webb as one of my coworkers that lets me, get these opportunities to get on air like that.
Here's that 20, brother. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Right.
I love having you, man. I did this a long time with the G, and once he was gone, I was like, I'm just probably. And then you came along, and I was like, oh, this is a blessing,
perfect.
and it's great. I'm an older guy. I'm 47, so to see you young guys doing this, it's great because we need it, and we bring joy to people. We hope we do, but we do bring information, and that's not my my good suit, but it's you young guys. You're really good about it, and I like to jaw, I like to chat, and I like to entertain. I'm more of an entertainer than I am like a sports jock, but I do love to watch it. I grew up loving it, but I wanted to touch on, you said that 98 game. I was in Mesquite, Nevada, had just moved to Las Vegas in 98, January 98, and was there, and this was still having a rough time. I ate out of my car, or I lived out of my car, ate out of a trash can a few times.
Do what you got to do, man.
Hey, man, I wasn't coming back. I mean, nothing against Bowling Green. I love Bowling Green, and I love Brownsville, Kentucky.
Out in Vegas.
I was staying, man. I wasn't coming back defeated. I wasn't going to do it. Ended up losing my car,
dude.
All that stuff, and but hey, I got on my feet. It worked out great for me. But I wanted to tell you, we were living up there, basically part of the Chamber of Commerce at Mesquite. It's a tiny little town north of Las Vegas. They actually do the running of the bulls there, just like they do in Spain.
Wow.
Didn't try that. I'm not stupid. I'm athletic, but I'm not that athletic. And I am kind of dumb, but thank goodness I thought that one through. But we were living there, and that game, that was the March Madness. That was where I was at the whole time, from start to finish. And the Cats were down big against Duke.
The comeback Cats.
I mean, so my roommate and I. We were Jay Wilder's his name, Sid McCout Western with me. My roommate and I, we were watching it. And they got down, and I was like, I'm like, oh my God. So we left the room. I'm like, dude, we are putting bad vibes or something into the TV. Let's go outside. We went out and stood on the terrace. So we waited a few minutes. We'd come back in. They gained to like 4 points back, and then we come back and they're inching closer, and finally we got to watch the end of it. But I was basically on the corner of St. George, Utah when this was going on, and Utah's who we played that who the Cats played that year, and that was a great game. And we, us two idiots, drove around with we took shaving cream, the only thing we had to write with, the only thing we could afford. It was already in our bag, so we wrote UK beats Utah, and we're driving around basically Utah with that on our car like idiots. But when you mentioned that was when I was like 26 years old, 25,
prime days.
Oh, it's good stuff, man. What a tournament that was. But when you think back, I mean, when you go, I'm talking like dig it up from back into use. Like, I can remember Staubach when I was young. I was a big Cowboys fan. My grandfather was a big Dolphins fan, and they had just got Marino, which was crazy. If you've ever watched that 30 for 30, that is a really good one. That class of quarterback, I think Jim Kelly was in that class.
Yep.
But
John
Elway. My uncle was a big Colts fan, and he loved Johnny U back in the day. Baltimore coach too. So, but it was one of those things where that's how I came up in sports. My grandfather was a really good basketball player. My dad was a pretty good baseball player. Came from a baseball family. The game was just too slow for me.
Most people say that. Yeah,
it just was, and I was probably better at that than I was basketball or football.
Yeah,
but golf ended up being the one that I gravitated to the most. But I tell you what though. Even though I was a little guy in football, I loved hitting and getting hit.
Yeah,
and I had bent up, I guess, some bent up issues maybe, and that's where you let it loose, man.
That's what I'm saying.
But I tell you, it was something really funny. Granville Meredith, who was our kicker, and listen, dude, he could kick it from the 50 easily. And I mean, he could have kicked a 60. He kicked a 62-yarder in a high school game, got called back. Offsides, and it would have been the state record, and it would still be holding today. That was at Mayfield. Don't ever try not to ever play at Mayfield if you're a high school team, because you're not going to get out of there with a win usually. But no, that's a little bit about me, and that's cool. We never get to talk about this stuff, and we got some great sponsors on this show, like JBK Network Consulting, Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill, Linex Bedliner over there, Roger and Gina, man, they do the best. Porter Pike, and I mean, we just got a multitude. Pabst beef jerky's one of my new sponsors. I love having them. You like the Pabst beef jerky?
I love Pabst beef jerky, man. Tastes great.
Absolutely, it does. I got to get you some more of that. But those guys. Hey, places are open right now. Try some Pabst while you're out there.
Oh, they have it at gas stations, man.
Absolutely,
grab you some.
But this segment was brought to you by Culver's Butter Burgers, and I'll tell you what, man. I love to eat. But there is not one restaurant in the whole United States of America that, to me, that is better as far as fast / set down food, quality food. It's fresh. I mean, it's farm fresh. It's farm to table, and it really is. And it's so good. And you can get more than just burgers in there. They got fish. They got all kinds of good stuff. The home cooking kind of stuff.
Frozen goodies.
Custard.
Treats.
I mean, you can mix anything you want to in there. I mean, Culver's is awesome. They've been with me for so long, and I can't thank them enough over there. But I couldn't do all this. I wouldn't be where I'm at today without all these sponsors that have helped me along along the way, and I love them, and they're great, and I don't want to miss any. We mentioned a few last week. Oak Tree Awards, great company. They're always doing things for me. Coach Damon Tabor over there, and I've got some good ones, man. And I wish you the best in your future in this gig. What would be like the pinnacle of where you want to be? 10 years from now, where would you love to be?
Man, there's a few different thoughts. One that's always inspired me since I've been in broadcasting is Hawk Harrelson, play-by-play guy for the Chicago White Sox for 2-3 decades. Just retired a couple seasons ago. That's who I grew up idolizing my sports broadcasting after. There was nobody like Hawk Harrelson that could put himself and his pure emotion into the game like he did. Love Hawk. Hawk Harrelson's always been my idol, so maybe a play-by-play for the Chicago White Sox. I'd love to do that. Love my White Sox. Other than that, another one of my idols has always been Jim Rome, man. Love Jim Rome.
Rome was burning.
Yeah, that's right. I was about to say, I used to come home from school, elementary and middle school, when they had that old show, Jim Rome is Burning, on ESPN.
Oh, yeah.
And it was always on right when I got home off the bus from school. Would always watch that, and I was just always so amazed with Jim Rome's his character, his attitude, and almost his swagger and his cockiness, man. He's got a little bit of that about him.
Nothing wrong with that. If you can back it up.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I like. He always kept a good head on his shoulders. So maybe kind of some kind of show like Jim Rome. But I mean, hey, just doing what I'm doing right now is part of a dream come true, man. Just being on the radio talking about sports. I mean, working my way up, doing what I love. Can't ask for much more than that.
Casey's burning. I'd love to see it. What are some of your other favorite ESPN guys from back in the day? I'm a big Boomer fan. Nobody circles the wagons like that. I love that guy. And who else? Who's some of your favorite ESPN guys?
Scott Van Pelt. You can never get tired of Scott Van Pelt.
No, he's pretty good.
Sports Center with SVP. Always still kicking.
Stuart
Scott, rest in peace. Bless his soul, man.
Bless that family.
Yeah, Stuart Scott, man, was always one of my favorites. Other than that, Neil Everett, Stan Verrett, Neil Everett, those two guys, those are on Sports Center a lot. Love them. And, of course, Tony Rowley, my man on Around the Horn. Come on now. He's been kicking it now for a while.
Yes.
He's still looking like he's the same age he was when he started, man. That's an ageless wonder right there.
Totally.
Around the Horn, PTI, Mike Wilbon, those
PTI,
guys.
I love Part of the Interruption.
Tony Kornheiser.
Great show. Yeah, Kornheiser. I remember him. He was great.
Yeah, I know there's one guy, though, Brian. There's one guy you've always modeled yourself after, and you can do a pretty good impression of him. And who is that?
It would be one Howard Cosell, and we want to wish the best to young Casey Warner as he makes his bid in the broadcasting industry. Indubitably one of the best young DJ jocks and sports jocks in the game.
Man, that's dead on right there.
I don't know about that.
My dad used to do it, and I got to tell you, you do a pretty good impersonation. Probably a little bit better than my dad used to do.
Loved him so much growing up, dude. I mean, I used to Monday Night Football. That's my earliest memory is Monday Night Football. Him and Don Meredith, and I mean, there's the old Nestea plunge commercials where Don Meredith's falling back, and you got to love it. And I would tell some of you young guys maybe that haven't seen any of it, go back and watch the interaction between Howard Cosell and Muhammad Ali. I mean, it is the best TV/radio you will ever see. They had a rapport with each other that was I don't even know how to describe it, man. It was so amazing, and they were just electric together. And two of the best at their craft.
Right, totally agree. Quick shout out before we end here. John Madden, Al Michaels. Got it mixed up. Yeah, that's probably my favorite combo right there. They used to do Monday night, Sunday night football. That's my combo right there.
I can't do a Madden, but I love.
You put a little too much mustard on that one.
I love the fact that he rode a bus everywhere.
Oh yeah,
wouldn't fly, and he would circle everything on the board, and you could see him. He would do his. Oh, that was so great, interactive. Casey's been great time tonight. We'll get Dowdy on next week.
Yeah, for sure.
And we'll hook up with him. But I want to thank everybody, Vegas Frank, Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill, BG Refrigeration, some of these other sponsors. And I'll be talking a little bit about them every week while we're going through this thing, because some of them are essential, some of them are closed. And, hey, we got to, once this thing breaks, we got to support our local businesses, man.
Couldn't agree more. It's been a great show. Looking forward to it every week.
Take us out, man.
Hey, we're out. ESPN 102.7 Sports Webb.